Catrell, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to release control and be appreciative of the life that you have. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So I'm not going to be on here long. I went to a show tonight. I had some other things that I had to do, Bible study, etc. And I wanted to make sure I hopped on here because whenever I learn something, I want to teach someone else what I've learned. I want to share the knowledge that I've learned. And so I was like, I have to come on here because every day I learn something new and I don't want to lose out on telling someone something that might help them because I'm doing something else. And when it's fresh in your mind, it's good to let that information go right then, because if you wait, you'll learn something new and then you'll forget to relay the message. You'll forget to testify. You'll forget to share your story in the way that it is that day. Because once you learn something else built onto your story, it turns into something a little different. And so today I was just listening to a podcast and sermon, and it was about gratitude and just learning how to move in feminine energy. And I know we go masculine, feminine, and we talk a lot about different energies that you give off. And I think that because of the time, sometimes it's hard to be a little bit more feminine because you have to operate in masculine most of the times when you're a single mother like I am, or when you are owning a business or whatever else. And I'm not saying that you can't be soft or you can't be feminine as well. But for me, like, even when I meet new people, if I'm talking to someone, whatever else, sometimes it's hard for me to release control because I feel like I've done everything 100% on my own. So it's in no diss or dig at anyone in general. I'm just saying that for me personally, I take 100%. That child that I have is 100% my responsibility, regardless of what's going on the other end. That's how I look at it, because it was my choice. I chose to have a child, so that means that she is 100% my responsibility. And so I know that I need to step up and do whatever it is that I have to do, regardless. If I have help, if I don't have help, whatever else, I need to make sure that I'm on it. And so when I'm working and stuff, one of my friends pointed out to me today that I don't celebrate my wins. I thought I was, because I'm like, oh yeah, I accomplished this thing today, or I did this, but I never took a moment and actually went and did something to celebrate it. When I was when I was doing the baby steps, whenever I would pay off like one thing or something, I would buy myself something that was really, really small, because while you're budgeting and everything else, I allotted myself a certain amount of cash, and whenever I had extra, I would put it towards the bill. I wasn't spending it on anything. But one of the couples who came up on Dave Ramsey's show, so that they had like a goal thing. They did something. They either went out to eat, they bought one item, something like that, to show appreciation for the fact that they've been so disciplined all this time. Because if you don't reward yourself and you're just constantly disciplining yourself, you don't acknowledge the fact that you won. And so when I was budgeting and I had a goal for paying off my student loan debt and in my previous car, it really just was like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on this, and I'm gonna, every time I reach a level, every time I pay off a certain percentage, I'm gonna buy myself something. So I would buy myself, if I knew I needed a new pair of shoes, I would get a new pair of shoes. Or if I knew I really needed a something, like it would be something super small, or I would go take myself to one of my favorite like fast food places or something. Like I might like Tropical Smoothie or Panera, and I might not always just go out to eat or eat at a restaurant or eat at a fast food place. I might be just making food at home. And so whenever I would reach one of those milestones, I would go take myself to one of my favorite places like that, and I would not splurge, but I would do something, and it would be like acknowledgement of me reaching a goal. And I didn't even realize I had stopped doing it. Sometimes we get so on the ball, so hustle bustle, that we forget to really appreciate the life that we have and really just take in the wins. And I'm always talking about acknowledging the wins and doing stuff and setting goals every day. And I've been so consumed with reaching goals, I completely forgot to even acknowledge the fact that I won anything. I forgot to acknowledge the fact that I met someone who was a really amazing person. I forgot to acknowledge the fact that I accomplished writing a book by the grace of God, and it sold out. The first, dump sold out, and even online and on some websites sold out. I forgot to even, and I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying sometimes in life, we are so busy comparing ourselves or looking at the end goal, we forget to acknowledge where we are and the fact that we've already accomplished things in our life. And I think it's really important for us to just appreciate the wins. Like, yes, we understand that we got to work for what it is that we want because faith without works is dead, but we also have to acknowledge the fact that we're winning different things in life. Because if you don't appreciate yourself, if you don't acknowledge your wins, you might end up like me and be unappreciative of something that's a blessing in your life. God could bless you with a car, a house, a friend, a man, and you're going to completely take it for granted because you don't even acknowledge the fact that you're winning. You don't even acknowledge the fact that you're special. You don't even acknowledge the fact that, you know, just because you're special doesn't mean somebody else can't be special too. Just because you're a good woman doesn't mean that this can't be a good man as well. Like, you could both be good. Just because this man is a good man and he's all of these amazing things doesn't mean that you're not amazing. I think sometimes we forget and we feel like it can only be one or the other. No, you could both be amazing. When you walk into a place and you see another beautiful woman and you know you look good, and you're like, I thought I looked good until I saw this woman. No, both of y'all are beautiful. Stop downgrading yourself. Just because there's another beautiful woman there does not mean that all of a sudden you butt ugly. That means, sorry, I don't mean to use the you word, but I'm just saying to hit the point home. We just got to really acknowledge the fact that we could all win. We don't really have to pretend like we're going to lose just because someone else is achieving or accomplishing something else, or because someone else is amazing doesn't mean that you're not amazing. That means you're amazing too. Just because there's someone who is a good friend to someone doesn't mean that you're a bad friend. That means that they have more than one good friend. That's amazing. Like, why are we really trying to make it seem like we can't appreciate all of the things that we have in life, and we gotta downgrade, or we gotta put down ourselves just because something else is good in our lives, or we can't acknowledge the fact that we have something great just because we feel like we can't have more than one great thing. Who said you can't have more than one great thing? You thinking, in my head, I used to think, I'm successful in this area. I got this thing. I got this thing. I got this thing. I can't have a man too. Like, why would God give me everything? Right? I know some people are like judging me right now, but I know there's another woman out there that feels exactly like I feel, or I felt. And so I just want you to know that God wants you to be happy. God is not just sitting around trying to say, oh, well, this person has a little too easy in this one area. Let's go ahead and take this away like Job. Like, I don't think God's just sitting there like a mean person on an anthill with a magnifying glass trying to like take us out. I really think that God is just has so much grace and mercy for us. He really does want his children to be happy, and he might not give us what we want, but he gives us exactly what it is that we need in our lives. And whether the thing that he gives us is to teach us something or forever, it's important for us to learn the lesson from it so that we can be better people. It's important for us to know when God is blessing us. Like, I thank God for all of the things that he's done, and I will have friends or people in my life that I would say thank you to, but I never appreciated them like I should have. Like, I'd be like, oh, thank you for doing this. And I'd say it because it sounds kind, because I know it's the right thing to do, but not because I truly deep down in my heart appreciated it. Not because I appreciated the time that my friends put in, or the time that people that I was talking to put in, or appreciated the fact that somebody was an ear that would listen to my problems, or that would talk to me or console me or make me feel special or treat me like a queen in the kingdom of God. Like, and I knew, like, I was so busy waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting for something horrible to happen. I didn't even take the time to appreciate the fact that I was being blessed, you know? And sometimes that's how we get with blessings. Sometimes that's how we get with things in life. We forget to appreciate those things, to be grateful. And I don't mean just saying, God, thank you for waking up. I mean acknowledging real stuff that's happening in your life besides just waking up. And I'm not saying just like it's little or minute, because not everybody got a chance to do that. I'm just saying that don't be so don't be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good. I know that's not biblical, but it's so true. Because sometimes we get so, oh, I gotta be by the book. Oh, because I go to Bible study and I go to church, I'm so appreciative of God waking me up this morning. But yet you got family members and friends that's down for you, that go to bat for you, that literally is like a whole village helping you raise your child. And you know they're there and you say thank you, but you don't even feel grateful. You got this man that literally treats you like a queen and you don't even feel grateful. You got this money coming in and you just so used to making it, you don't even feel grateful. You're driving this car, you ain't even got to worry about breaking down on you. It don't skirt in the cold and you not even grateful. Like, we really got to get to a place where we just start to be grateful for everything, and not just the things that look like we're supposed to appreciate them because we're trying to be so Christian, or we're trying to be so religious. Like, oh yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you're saying the words, but in your heart posture is all wrong. You are not appreciating your life. You're not appreciating that man, that woman, that car, that person, place, or thing, that job. You so laxical in the job that you've been blessed with that you're not even appreciating the time that you spend there, using it as a learning opportunity and just being grateful that you even get to walk through that door. You've been at this corporate business so long, you don't even acknowledge the fact that the title that you have is an accomplishment. You And I'm not just getting on people. I've done this before. That's why I'm talking about it, because I just want people to really appreciate their life. We got to do better as a whole. Like, I know I'm laughing, but for those of you that know, I laugh in awkward situations. It's not because something's funny. It's just because I'm weird. And so it's really important for us to just really do better. Like, really do better. Not just look like we're doing better. Not just show off this new car or this new house that we got. Not just taking vacation or pictures with the bay. Like, we really got to do better. We really got to appreciate our life and stop taking it for granted. We really do have to acknowledge the fact that what we have is not something that everybody has. And don't go comparing and say, well, I don't have what that person has. That's not that person's life. This is your life. You got to appreciate your life, not somebody else's life. They got to appreciate their own life. That's their job. That's not your job, duty, or your responsibility. We really got to get our job title down and understand that our life is our responsibility, not any of those other things, those materialistic, those unrealistic things that we have in our mind that are fantasies. Like, it might be good to imagine a better life, but you don't have to think, okay, a better life is all it's at, is where all of it's at. That's it. Nothing else. Like, appreciate where you are so that God can bless you with more, and really celebrate your wins so that when you get more, you'll already be at a place where your heart is humble, where you're at a good heart posture, where you're really walking in confidence and humbleness. Because without humility, why even get anything else? What's the point if you're not going to appreciate it? You know? So, like I said, I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to spew that little bit of knowledge that I ended up learning today from friends and sermons and different things. And I just think it's so important for us to not be so hard with people. Like, we need to have standards, but we got to learn how to, as women. And I'm sorry to just generalize it like that. This is not for every woman. But when you are a single parent, when you really got to hustle bustle, when you got to do all this stuff, it's really hard to be soft. It's really hard to operate in your femininity because you feel like you always got to be on guard. You got to, when you go and you like are asking for a raise, when you're trying to work and negotiate in different companies, when you're trying to own a business, when you're making deals, when you're marketing, when you're doing all this stuff, you have to have this hardness about you that you can't have in real life. And sometimes it's hard to turn it off because even with other people, you don't know who's coming to you because they want something from you, or who's coming to you because they generally care about your well-being. And so when you talk to people, sometimes you gotta be like, okay, all right, I'm talking to this person like a normal person until they give me a reason not to, you know? And so I just wanted to hop on here to remind you that it's okay to be feminine. It's really okay. Like, you don't have to always be on guard all the time. God is going to show you everything you need to know regardless, anyways. And also appreciate the life that you have, especially if you want more. Be content with where you are, appreciate your life, and ask for more. And God will give it to you. He's not going to give you something that's going to destroy you. He's going to give you only things that will bless your life strategically. So, girl, you better appreciate the wins. I'm just saying, and men too. Like, you're saying, well, I made $1 million, I need to make $1 billion. That's what I was saying earlier. But I'm just saying in general. And so someone was like, okay, but what you going to do in between? Like, are you going to acknowledge your wins in between? And it's true. We do need to appreciate and acknowledge every win that we have. We're going to start the win list back up. We're not going to wait till 2024 to start writing down our New Year's resolutions. We're going to make a resolution today. We're going to start working towards goals and acknowledging our goals and doing something to appreciate ourselves, whether it's getting an item, buying your favorite food or your favorite like little cupcake or something. Like, don't splurge out. Don't eat super unhealthy. Just do something small for yourself. Like, go somewhere that you've always wanted to go. Mini vacay, go to a store, park, museum, somewhere. Do something nice for yourself so that you know that you're appreciated, and not just because you're like, this is a me date and I need a solo date and I want some pictures and I want to post it on Instagram. No, do it for yourself because you really acknowledge the fact that you really worked hard, that you really are putting in that work, that you really have accomplished things in your life. And I don't care if you accomplished having a baby. That is an accomplishment. Okay? I don't care if you adopted a baby. That's an accomplishment. You know how much paperwork you got to go through? I'm just saying, we got to really stop being so hard on ourselves and really acknowledge the fact that we winning. You know what I'm saying? And so, have an amazing night. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow.